What's up YouTube? My name's Alex MC and today I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons why I love and why I hate my Subaru WRX STI Spec R. As we start off this video, I just wanted to give a thanks to everybody that's been watching my videos. I know I haven't been uploading a lot, but just because of the reasons of I've lost my license and I can't really drive anywhere or do anything except at a track. So there's not a lot of videos of me doing anything and going anywhere to pick up some stuff, but I can tell you now, some cool things are going to be coming. As the thing is, I've finally figured out what this first mods for this car is going to be. It's going to be a COBS system where you can adjust and do everything from the little controller that you can literally just put right on the dash. So that little thing is going to cost me way too much money, as $700 system for a V3 setup is pretty expensive. So that is the latest tech that you can use for these cars, but I'm looking into something second hand or maybe getting that brand new. And the second thing that's going to be happening is this car is going to be getting a high flow cat and a high flow muffler so that we can increase our power, but also with our tune on the COBS system. So as that, this is probably going to be the first stage of what this car is going to be getting, as the high flow cat will then go into the cutout system for the exhaust so that we can make it louder or quieter. But I do need a new battery for it, as I've recently just given that away to my dad for his birthday gift. So to start off, reason one why I absolutely love this thing. This thing is a one of 3,000 from what I've heard of Subaru WRX STI Spec cars ever made. This car costed me around $29,800 brand new. Second hand brand new for me, because this is the second car I've ever bought, and I absolutely love this thing. Number two, this thing is absolutely fucking quick on its feet. Every time you go through gears, it feels like you're just smashing a limiter, and it creates bangs and pops everywhere. It sounds so good to the point where it feels like you're driving a sequential car that goes, every time it cuts off a gear, it goes bang just through the exhaust, and it sounds so cool. Reason number three why I absolutely love this thing is that the community for the WRX STI is widely vast. You can go from a drag car all the way to a rally car or a drift car. So you don't usually see a lot of these cars rear wheel drive and, you know, able to pull a handbrake and then like counter steer. My main plan for this car was to go and compete in Formula Drift with it, but I'm going to be sticking to my old option of going to a Commodore. So what I will be doing is I'll be using this car as like my show / street car. The one reason being is because this car is way out of my budget for all the stuff I want to do to it. I'm just going to put a couple of bolt-ons here and there, and then vastly get into the more expensive stuff as I progress in the channel. But for the meantime, I'm going to be getting a third car soon. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and I don't think it's what any of you would expect. No, it's not my next drift car, but it is going to be my next daily, as I absolutely love the thing, and it's going to be sick on my Ps. And I can modify it, and it's still legal as well. But the third thing I love about this car is that it's got that good of handling. It's scary. As an idea, when I was driving it from Malindina to Brisbane, this thing absolutely hauled ass on the highway, and at one point during the wet, I was very scared of what I could do with this car. So I was going around a corner at about 30 k's an hour, and the steering is so twitchy that the power that I had under my foot when I accidentally went around the turn, I didn't counter steer, but I just put it slightly just to counter steer in a little bit, and the car completely snapped straight, and it was completely scary. And I'm just like, holy shit, this thing is a weapon. And as I can tell you now, I'm still fucking shaking just thinking about that, and it's absolutely crazy to drive this thing just from here to anywhere in Brisbane. It's way too fucking scary for this. In my eyes, I feel like having a scary car is a good car, because it teaches you how to control something that you've never driven before, and you can progress through it, and you can slowly work your way up to it. See, with me, I like to jump straight into the deep end and try and fucking start swimming. So with that, this car is going to be completely built as I progress. I feel like it's a little bit slower now, so I do want more power in this thing. I've recently just upped the boost in it. I'm not going to tell you guys how much boost it's pushing now, because I actually don't even know how much it's pushing myself. But I will tell you is that boost gauge over there is going to be absolutely handy when it comes to this. So it's going to be a really big hand for it. The fourth reason why I absolutely love this car is because literally people are all going over the internet how people are fitting 18x9-inch wheels on this thing. I recently just bought some 003s for the rear of the car, and it's fitting a 245/35/20 RE003 Potenza, which is fucking huge, by the way. The tire is probably twice the size as my head, and it's absolutely sticky to the point where it just grips up. I tried ripping in it because these are old tires, and I bought them for cheap for like 50 bucks a pair from one of my old mates. And I had literally tried doing a launch in it at about 4,000 RPM in the wet, and it just gripped up like there's no fucking tomorrow. And when I had to go for a drive around the block, when I had my license still, I'm just like, whoa, this thing's absolutely awesome. You know, you can rip on it and you can bash on it. Man, it's crazy to think that it can fit a 245 3520. It just grips up like there's no choice. But yeah, the fifth reason why I absolutely love this car is mainly because the transmission in these things, I've heard a lot of people, they can handle about 600 horsepower in it. And with the 3 option of power ratios, you can put it on Intelligent, Sport, and Sport Sharp, which is the most throttle response. So it isn't much of a power increase, but it does have a lot more throttle response on driving. And as well as, I forgot to mention the traction that you can also, in this thing, you can lock up all 4 diffs so that it's got all traction to all 4 wheels, so it's progressively providing power through all 4 wheels. Alright, now that I'm stopped doing a lot of the simping for the car, now we get on to the minor details on why I hate this thing. One, the first reason why I hate this car is because it's just way too expensive for what they're worth, and considering it's a special edition, it's got 221 kilowatts instead of the normal, I think it was 200 that came from factory with these cars. And with the way that these guys have tuned it, is way too aggressive on fuel for doing about 50 litres per 100. I know people are all going like, oh, my car's on the 85 and I can get 13.1 litres per 100. Not this thing. This thing's on 98 octane, and with the amount of fuel it's using, I'm not kidding you, I drive around the block and it's already used about 3/4 of the tank. And I'm not joking you, literally, I look at the fuel gauge every time I go for a drive. It goes from here, and it uses about that portion of fuel, and this tank is only 60 litres. And using that amount of fuel in that time, I've either, 1, it's running way too much power for its stock internals, or 2, they've absolutely riched the thing out to the point where you need to up the boost so that it can keep up with how much fuel it's using. Because when I had first bought this car, it was shooting black stuff onto the tiles, and I was looking at it, and I asked one of my shop foremen when I was working back at one of my old jobs, I was asking, hey, why, because his car was doing the same thing, shooting out black soot onto the floor. And I was like, hey, why is your car shooting out black stuff onto the floor? He said, oh, my carburetor's running too rich, and it's usually what it's meant for. I'm just like, oh, okay. So that's why I was able to understand on why this thing was using so much fuel. It's running too rich. Number 2. I'll show you in a second. The second reason why I absolutely hate this car is because, 1, the wheels look absolutely fucking stupid. Why would you ever get 20-inch Vitinis for this car? There's literally no point in adding 20-inch rims onto a hatchback as small as that was only built for 18s. These things look absolutely ugly. And especially with these tires, like, these tires are shit. Aussie tires aren't well known for the style of rim and as well as the wheels that they choose for the options in the package, but I can damn well tell you now that was a bad idea to put those wheels with those rims. It looks tacky and it's just stupid. Number 4, with the condoning that it's on 50 litres per 100 kilometers, this thing is on 98 octane, and I can't put it onto E85 yet because I need to get a tune that's built for it. The reason it's on 98 is because it was tuned for it from the factory, and the thing is that 98 octane costs $2 a litre. Like, from just a basic fucking fuel station that's like one of those old out of middle of nowhere, they're $2 a litre. And when I started driving this, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't know what fuel it took, so I went to a fuel station and I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, I can't put 93 or 95 in this. And I looked at it and was like, oh, this is gonna be great. So then what I did was I asked my friend to put some money to put in the car, because I didn't have any at the time because I was young and dumb, didn't have any savings. I've got savings now, thank God. But I put fuel in the tank and it used about $60 just for 30 litres, and that wasn't even a full tank. I was like, most of it. I was like, fuck. I felt like I had a heart attack. I'm just like, it's not even my money. I'm just like, damn, okay, what the hell? And I started driving it back home, and I'm just like, I'm probably not even going to make it home with how much fucking fuel this thing's using. And I looked at it, and I'm looking at the average of how much fuel I'm using like 50 litres, and I'm still in intelligent mode, which has the least amount of throttle response. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? And like, that's just insane. But for the fifth reason on why I hate this thing is because with the tire setup and this factory suspension that it has, this thing is, the calibration for its kilometers are way out of range. This thing is doing 10 over when you're meant to be doing 10 under. And it's absolutely stupid because you're doing 100 k's an hour and it says it's doing 115, which is honestly, in all factory, stupid. Because with the tires and the wheels on this thing, it fucking throws the calibration out of orbit and it says, oh, I'm just doing 100 k's an hour, when you're doing like 120 or 130, and you never know. But yeah, it's absolutely stupid and insane. In all honesty, it is what it is, but in return, I do love this car, and I absolutely think it's an awesome car in the car scene, and I really do love it because of its 50-50 weight distribution, and as well as how much power it's pushing. You will be seeing a modification on this car very soon because I am getting paid tomorrow, and I hope that the next week after I can actually put some money towards the COB system that I'm buying, and I might be able to put one in the car. So with that happening, I might be able to do the first modification on this car very soon, and I can't wait to show you guys, as it's going to be absolutely sick, and then we'll start getting into more of it and understanding on how it works and how it actually operates, because I've never worked with the COB system myself, and I think it'd be pretty cool if I was able to use one and work with one. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know I don't upload that much anymore because of how much work I'm doing at home and as well as at work, but I really do hope you guys enjoy this video, as the next one I'm going to be talking about how we can work on that thing, because I've recently just found out something that I'm going to be getting for it, or the Subaru, as you can put it in between the two, because it's a turbo. Because this thing has a TD06 and I'm getting a GT45, and I'm not sure if I could put it in that or this, but I'm thinking this because I want to have something that's fast and still pretty cool, but I don't have anything to put that in at the moment. So the idea of the next video is we're going to clean up the whole entire garage, so everything there is going to be moved, all of this is going to be cleaned out, and we're going to try and figure out how we can do with room. Because the next car I'm getting is my new daily, and we've got to find some places to fix it up, because that's also getting a turbo for a supercharger as well, so compound turbo setup. It's going to be the first compound setup that I've ever seen on this car, so it should be fun. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you're new to the channel, obviously go like and subscribe, as there are a lot more videos like this coming out with new ideas and new stuff that we're going to be doing with these cars, and I absolutely can't wait, and I hope you guys enjoy this new content. In the meantime, I'll see you guys later, and keep moving sideways.